Tonight on SportsDesk, Canes men's basketball is moments away from tipping off versus Duke in the ACC semifinals. Our Hurricane Hangtime crew breaks down how Miami got there and what needs to happen tonight for the Canes to keep advancing.
Plus, Friday night frights. After losing 4 of their last 5 games, Canes baseball is shaking up their starting lineup for tonight's matchup with NC State. Our Inside Pitch crew breaks it all down from Mark Light Field.
And later on, Bonded by Boat. Reporter Ryan Marshall highlights one team of survivors spreading breast cancer awareness one paddle at a time.
All that and more.
SportsDesk starts right now.
I'm Ed Reed, and you're watching SportsDesk.
Hi, I'm Jim Kelly, former UM guy. You're watching SportsDesk.
What's up? I'm DJ Williams, and y'all watching SportsDesk.
Hello and welcome to SportsDesk. I'm Daryl Barnes.
And I'm Ethan Gainey. Thank you so much for joining us. The Canes men's basketball squad is tipping off their ACC semifinal matchup against Duke as we speak.
Yeah, right now. But Ethan, they almost didn't make it there. As the top seed, Miami had a bye for their first 2 rounds. But yesterday, the Canes faced off with Wake Forest in the tournament's 3rd round.
And it came down to the wire.
Yeah, let's check it out.
All right, so let's kick things off at the start of the second half. Wong with the step back 3 there to give the Canes a 55-38 lead. Things looking good for the Canes right now.
Yeah, I mean, 17-point lead, but the story of the season has been the Canes, really the last 3 weeks, struggling to close out games like this.
Tyree Appleby with the tough shot right in Wooga Poplar's face right there. Wooga all up in there, but he couldn't do anything about that.
Yeah, so with a minute left now, the Canes just have a real tight lead. Cut the lead to 4.
Or a 5-point lead right now. Gonna kick it to Hildreth with the up fake and the make. It's a 2-point game now.
And it's starting to get eerily similar, right? Can Wooga finish this one out? Misses the free throw.
Can't.
Now a chance to get the half-court shot.
By the way, half quarter went in for them at the end of the half, but that one didn't. So the Canes are able to just squeak out that 74-72 victory over Wake Forest, which leads them up to tonight, where they're taking on Duke. So that's how we got here. But what does Miami need to do tonight against Duke, and what can we look forward to next week when the madness starts? Our Hurricane Hangtime crew is here to break it all down. Guys?
Thanks, Ethan, and welcome everybody to Hurricane Hangtime. I'm your host, Wrigley Court, joined by Andrew Klein and Gavin Bisho. Let's talk hoops. Starting off with the men's team, where the ACC tournament is in full swing. They got the win yesterday against Wake Forest. Andrew, it was a little closer than it should have been, but how'd they pull off that win?
Well, Wrigley, Miami looked really good in the first half yesterday against Wake Forest. They went into the break up by 5, but it was the second half where Miami struggled, and it's where they've struggled all season long. Wake Forest went up 43-40 by the end of that second half. They had a chance to cut that lead even closer than it was at 2. A couple of big shots from Wake Forest down the stretch, but Miami able to pull out the win. And let's take the positives where we can. I got the dog tie on today because Jordan Miller has got that dog in him. 18 points, 9 rebounds. They need another huge game out of him tonight against Duke if Miami wants to pull off another big win.
As we speak, the Canes are taking on a red-hot Blue Devils team. Andrew, what do they need to beat one of their biggest rivals?
Well, Wrigley, this is a familiar opponent for the Hurricanes and Jim Larrañaga. They faced Duke twice this year. That loss in Cameron Indoor Stadium, 68-66, which Miami did not rebound well at all. Then the Hurricanes rebounded extremely well in their big win, 81-59 against Duke right here at home. If they could rebound, they could run out in transition and get easy buckets. This would be a huge game for Miami and a huge opportunity for them to win.
Moving from a team that's looking to bolster its tournament position to one barely hanging on, Gavin, the women needed to make a big run in the ACC tournament, but they did not do that, falling to Virginia Tech on Friday. What happened in that loss?
Well, it was always going to be a tall task against number 8 Virginia Tech, but what didn't go wrong? 24% from the field, that's not going to cut it. Then they also lost the turnover battle, which they've struggled with down the stretch. The Achilles heel of this team, Coach Katie Meyer preaches about it. Not to mention they go down 20-5 after the end of the first quarter. Again, they're putting themselves in poor spots, and when you can't shoot, you can't get things done.
The Canes limped into the end of the season, and now, Gavin, what do their tournament hopes look like?
Well, I wouldn't say they're slim, but they right now are sitting on their couches and hoping bubble teams lose. They're the 5th to last team out in the bracket, and it's going to be a toss of the coin, in my opinion, whether they'll be in the NCAA tournament, the first 4, or in the WNIT. Solid consolation they can play home at the Watsco Center if they're in that WNIT tournament. But that's the real look at right now, just holding their breath.
Selection Sunday is coming up. It's the most wonderful time of the year, but that is all the time we have, so let's send it back to Daryl at the desk.
All right, thanks, guys. It's been 10 years since the Watsco Center has been home to the ACC regular season champs, but this is what the post-game celebration looks like on Saturday, because after a historic season on and off the court, the Canes are regular season champs once again. It's the celebration fifth-year senior Jordan Miller waited his entire career for.
I've played a lot of years of college basketball. This is my first time finishing first in any conference. I mean, it's really just surreal.
On Saturday, students stormed the court after the Canes won the ACC regular season championship for just the second time ever. Miami dominated at home all season, going 16-1 and setting a new school record for most home wins. But the team has said all season long they couldn't have done it without the help of crowds like this.
Just Category 5 this whole year has been phenomenal.
Category 5 is the name of Miami's student section. And last year they tried something new, rebranding the basketball student section, calling it the I.
Our goal at the start of the year was we've got to start doing things that, even if you don't love basketball, you're going to have fun when you're at this game.
And creating new fun traditions like setting off fire extinguishers and confetti cannons helped draw in record-setting student sections, giving Miami one of the best home court advantages in the country.
I had someone say to me, this environment is as good as there is in the ACC, and that says a whole lot about our fans.
And to Jordan, the chance to share the glory with fans means just as much as the win.
Being able to celebrate with our peers, dapping them up, they're screaming, yelling, and just sharing that excitement is just crazy.
Canes win the title for the year and memories that'll last forever. Daryl Barnes, UMTV.
Sports, it's neon night at the Light, and Canes baseball is looking for a glow-up. Ryan Gleischer will give us a live look from Miami's ACC opener when we come back.
Hey, Kevin, you thinking about retirement?
Of course I've thought about it, but there's all this stuff in the way.
Oh, you're not kidding.
The house, the kids are going to college.
My new car.
Car? You bought a new car?
Oh, hey, you should meet my friend Avo. Avo's a retirement coach. He'll help get you started.
But what does Avo tell you to do?
You don't know? Focus on your future. Your goals can still be met.
But how?
Target your tomorrow and use the Avo bet.
You sing?
Not really. A is for taking action. Start off with a plan.
You built these letters?
Yep. V is for variety. There's so many ways you can.
I follow you.
Come on. O's for optimize your savings.
Let Avo lead the way.
Visit aceyourretirement.org today.
Nice sign.
Thanks, I made it myself.
Cool.
Canes baseball has the first ACC contest of the season for them tonight, as they are going to take on NC State Wolfpack right now. Olivia Howell and Cal Friedman, though, had the chance to visit Mark Light Field earlier today for this week's edition of Inside Pitch. Guys?
Hello and welcome to this week's special edition of Inside Pitch. I'm your host, Olivia Howell, here with analyst Cal Friedman. Cal, it's so great to be out here at Mark Light Field. It's such a beautiful day, but let's get right to it. Miami struggled heavily throughout last weekend's series against the Gators. What were the biggest issues you saw?
Well, the biggest issue for Miami in Gainesville has been their toughest issue all season long, and it's been their starting pitching. Head coach Gino DeMare mentioned that Miami's starters needed to go 6, maybe 7 innings if they wanted to return to Omaha this season. Right now, they're having trouble getting through 5. Looking at Gage Zeal firstly, the Friday night guy, his strikeout numbers are still there, Olivia. However, he's getting hit a lot more than he was last season. It hasn't been the cleanest transition to starting. That ERA is still over 10. Alejandro Rizar Rosario started out really well in these first 2 weekends here at the Light, but the Gators figured him out. He couldn't get through 3 innings at UF. So Miami, they're going to make a change. Carson Ligon's going to move up from Saturday to Friday, get the Game 1 start here at the Light tonight. It's going to be a difficult challenge for Carson, but he's been Miami's best arm. A Miami team that needs a win. They've lost 4 out of 5. How do you flip momentum? You give your best guy a chance on Friday night and hope that momentum carries in. That's why Carson Ligon's getting the nod tonight.
For sure, Cal. It should be interesting to see how the Canes perform with that switch up. But this weekend is the ACC Series opener. 7 teams in the conference are currently ranked, with NC State ranked at number 19. What should the Canes expect going up against this battle?
They should expect a high-octane offense, as they should all season long. The ACC always looks like one of the toughest conferences in college baseball. This season, it's no different. Let's take a look at those 7 teams that Olivia mentioned. Miami's going to face 6 of them in their next 6 ACC series. There's 3 teams in the NCAA that are undefeated, 2 of them in the ACC. 1 of them are here tonight. The Wolfpack, 13-0. They've got 5 players hitting over 390, especially freshman Cannon Peebles, who's leading the team with a 480 average.
For sure, Cal. The Wolfpack has a ton of stacked players, but tell me, Cal, what are your calls?
Well, Miami needs to get their leadoff guys on. Edgardo Villegas had a great start to the season. I think he's going to be on base a lot this weekend. Secondly, NC State, they're undefeated, but their best win so far is against Coastal Carolina. They haven't quite faced Miami's level of pitching. It's a great opportunity for them to pick up some strikeouts. And finally, I mentioned it last week, Miami has to do a better job with runners in scoring position. Who's been their best option? It's been Blake Sear. He's going to have a big weekend in his ACC debut.
It's going to be an exciting weekend for sure, Cal, but that's all the time we have. Back to Daryl and Ethan at the desk.
Thanks, guys. Now let's take a trip right back to Mark Light Field and see what the game day atmosphere is like with the start of conference play. Our lead reporter, Ryan Gleischer, is live outside the Light right now. Ryan, we're hearing there's a bunch of giveaways tonight. Tell us what the fans, and you, I see, received.
Guys, it is ACC opening night here at Mark Light Field, where the Hurricanes are taking on undefeated NC State, and it's going to be a big one tonight, as they're dubbing this Neon Night. So they're giving out these neon lit sticks and also this neon lit hat to the people in attendance tonight. And not only that, courtesy of Category 5, they're giving out these Cuban Heritage t-shirts as a thank you to those who are in attendance. Now, if you're arriving to this game too late and you're not able to grab any of these items, you could always grab a milkshake and enjoy the ball game. Reporting live from the Light, Ryan Gleischer, UMTV.
All right, Ryan, get yourself a milkshake. Canes baseball is trying to get back on track, while Canes basketball is gearing up for their postseason runs. Niles Nassim is here to break down the Canes' outlook on social media on this edition of Behind the Post. Niles?
Look, we got to hurry up and get this segment done because it's time for me to have some mid-semester fun. Ladies and gentlemen, it's spring break. So before I head to South Beach and get the most glorious tan in the wondrous sands, join me for the most electrifying segment on TV with me, Niles Nassim, your host with the most. So when you see me on screen, it's time to go behind the post. One game at a time. That's how Canes basketball is moving after advancing the ACC tournament. And what a game it was, as the Canes will pull out a 74-72 win against the Demon Deacons, but they have some more wins that they have to be seeking. No time for celebration, people, because that's right, they are back again tonight in the semifinals against Duke, and they are looking to prove that this season is not a fluke. Tip-off is at 7, so tune in after the show. And Canes baseball is finally in ACC play, so tonight they have a fabulous giveaway going on at the Light. Ryan Gleischer, I know you're already there, but we're going to have some problems after the show if you don't save me one of those caps. The Canes are taking on NC State right now, so if you got nothing better to do after the show, I'll see you there. And what's better than Canes baseball? And if they ain't foreign, they're boring. That's why Canes women's basketball is going on a world tour. From Paris to Athens, the Canes will be getting buckets across borders, and they deserve it after the season they had. But there is one more thing. It's Women's History Month, and to show the impact of women on sports, I think what the players said about Coach Katie Meyer sums it up.
I'll always be grateful for you, and I'll never have enough words to say to explain how much our relationship has meant to me.
Well, that's all the time I have for you today. Thank you to all the women who make this show as great as it is. We couldn't do it without you. Be blessed, don't stress, and wait, I'm late for my tanning appointment. I'll see you in 2 weeks.
Up next on Sports Desk, Off the Bench is back, and Manny Nacarado was up to the ultimate challenge. Stay with us. But first, it's time for some trivia. With ACC play beginning tonight, Canes baseball has the most conference wins of any ACC team in the last 4 seasons. But how many wins do they have? Is it A, 52, B, 57, C59, or D, 61? Stay tuned for the answer when we return.
Roll over. Chance high five. All right. When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover all the things that make them unique. And your mother and... I am totally a hat person. Right, guys? Thanks for being honest. They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love. Adopt pure love at theshelterpetproject.org.
Hey guys, what's going on?
I'm going to be honest, the Duke game's going on in the background. Norchad Omir just went out. I'm a little nervous.
Yeah, I mean, can't do it without him. Big Chad.
He's huge for the team. Baby food. Let's hope he's back.
I know, I hope so. Hopefully he'll be okay.
Sometimes we can do things that exclude others.
You're still talking to your friend? It's complicated.
I think he went back in. We gotta go get him.
Welcome to Jumanji! Even the smallest words and actions can have a big effect on someone. You have the skills. Because of you, someone's entire day, their year, or their life can change.
Remember, the future is in your hands.
Visit becauseofyou.org to learn more.
Totally, let's do it.
Welcome back. If you guessed D, you're correct. Since Gino DiMare was hired as the head coach in 2019, the Hurricanes have tallied an ACC record of 61-37, which is 4 more than the next closest school. They have a 62.2 win percentage in conference play.
Canes volleyball is carrying momentum into the spring season with a win over Miami-Dade College last weekend, but now Brandy Troop gets the inside scoop with setter Alanis Vieira on this week's edition of Athlete of the Week.
Hello everyone and welcome to this week's edition of Athlete of the Week. I am your host Brandy Troop and today I am joined by Canes volleyball player Alanis Vieira. Hey Alanis, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm great, girly. I want to get right to the games. Gonna play something called Set It Straight where I describe some scenarios and I want you to let me know how you would best handle a situation and set the tone. How does that sound?
Good.
I'm gonna give you 45 seconds, okay?
Okay.
Let's do it. You are overwhelmed with classes and your sport, but you want to maintain your grade point average. How do you set it straight?
I'd probably make a to-do list and check things off.
Your ex shows up to a party that you're also at, and he's checking you out. How do you set it straight?
I'd probably walk the other way.
I love it. Your friends go out to dinner without inviting you, and you find out about it through Instagram.
I'd make another dinner plan and then post about it.
I love that. You and a teammate aren't seeing eye to eye in practice.
I'd probably talk about it.
Okay, very mature. You and your bae are having a disagreement, and neither of you have spoken to each other in 4 days.
Probably confront him about it.
Oh, okay, let's try to get one more in. Someone you thought you were cool with unfollowed you on social media, but is still friendly in person.
I'd probably confront them about it too.
Oh, you just confront everything, don't you?
Of course.
Listen, there's no wonder why you are the team setter because you definitely know how to set it straight. But speaking of the position, it comes with a lot of leadership. How is it that you embody that?
I always want to be there for my team, and I always want to have a positive and good energy in practices and games.
Love it, girlie. Unfortunately, we are all out of time, but it was a pleasure. She's Alanis Vieira. I'm Brandy Troop, and we'll see you right here on Athlete of the Week.
If you had a skill that tens of thousands of people wanted to learn, would you offer instruction for free? Well, for one former UM tennis star, the answer to this question was a no-brainer. I sat down with UM's winningest tennis player, John Eagleton. This is the University of Miami's all-time winningest tennis player, John Eagleton. From 1974 to 1977, Eagleton amassed a record of 165 wins to just 26 losses. His 89 doubles victories are still a school record. So John clearly has the winning formula, but he wanted a way to share it with anyone, anywhere. Private athletic lessons can get expensive. I'm a hockey goalie myself, and when I used to take lessons, they would be at least $100 an hour. But take an in-person lesson on a basketball court, for example, with a pro, and put it here on your screen. Now that $100 lesson is $0. And so SportsEd TV was born. The company, which John co-founded in 2017 with sports marketing professional Robert Mazzucchelli, provides free, high-quality sports instructional videos from real pros to anyone around the world.
So we immediately said our two main things that would make us different are world-class coaches, guys like John who've been there, done it, coached at the best level, played at the best level, and movie quality production.
We wanted to be a trusted brand, so if you get on our site, you know, you have a Mark Strickland that's in basketball, Tim Hardaway that can vet the content so that we become the world's leading brand in education.
And with top-tier coaches comes success stories. For example, newly retired high school tennis coach Steve Scotty started using the site a few years back to improve his team.
I saw some kids that could rally 10, 15 balls with topspin against the wall in our gym that couldn't before. The things that he's put together, these are all things you can trust, and these are all things that your kids need.
The gratification is in helping people get going, getting started, and improving their game at all levels. You know, sports is a massive social thing, and I think we have never needed it more.
Because when it comes to giving players of all calibers a real shot at getting better, John is always up for the challenge. Reporting for UMTV, I'm Ethan Gainey.
For the first time in 11 months, one of SportsDesk's most popular segments is back. Catch Manny Nacarado as he takes the field with the Club Ultimate Frisbee team on this week's Ultimate edition of Off the Bench.
What's up, Sports Desk? I'm Manny Nacarado, and I'm your host for Off the Bench, where I try and play different club sports and see if I can crack it. And tonight, we're here trying to play Ultimate Frisbee with Owen Fleming. He's the social media manager for the team and a player. And Owen, tell me, how'd you get into Ultimate Frisbee?
So back in high school, I was always the Can Jam kid. Every barbecue, I was throwing the Frisbee around with Can Jam, and freshman year orientation came around. And I was walking through the club fair and got to the sports section and saw Ultimate Frisbee and figured why not give it a try. And here I am in my last semester, 3.5 years later, loving it just as much as I did that first practice.
Okay, Owen, what are you gonna have me going out there doing today?
So we'll start with the basics, do some throwing. We'll do the backhand throw that everybody typically learns growing up. We'll do the forehand flick. We're gonna run some drills with the rest of the team out there to some of the formations we run, some of the cuts we do, and some of our plays. And after that, we're gonna get out on the field and start scrimmaging.
Yeah, I feel like the forehand I'm more comfortable with. I mean, that's what we did on the beach, but I'm excited.
Yeah.
Let's get out there, man.
All right,
let's do it.
So Owen started to show me the ropes. My front hand is good, backhand, not so much.
Oh my God, not bad. Oh my God.
But after he showed me, you know, how to throw the Frisbee, I was able to go in and start drilling with the team.
Oh,
nice.
Oh,
what a
that
catch.
was nice. All right, it's time to do my best Odell Beckham Jr. impression. Here we go.
Go, 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 go. Looking back, I don't know about Odell Beckham Jr., but I went out there and gave it my all and ran this drill with the team and almost came down with the catch.
Hey. This close. This close.
I didn't want to end on a bad note, so I gave it another shot.
Daryl, you got to get this because I'm catching it.
And things started off good. Take a look at that breakaway speed, but nope, I was wrong again. Another missed catch by Manny, but I gave it my all.
It's tough. It's a tough game.
It's a lot of running.
And although I wasn't an ultimate athlete at Ultimate Frisbee, I did have a great time learning about the team and playing the sport.
So I gave it a shot. It didn't go my way. I think I'm just gonna stick with this journalism stuff. But if you ever want to get out here and play Ultimate Frisbee, you can follow them on their Instagram. But for now, that's been this edition of Off the Bench, and we're gonna see you on the next one. Back to you guys at the desk.
Still ahead, Canes men's basketball cut down the net for the first time in 10 years. But more importantly, Coach L got a necklace? We'll explain right after the break.
Hey, Kevin, you thinking about retirement?
Of course I've thought about it, but there's all this stuff in the way.
Oh, you're not kidding.
The house, the kids are going to college.
My new car.
Car? You bought a new car?
Oh, hey, you should meet my friend Avo. Avo's a retirement coach. He'll help get you started.
But what does Avo tell you to do?
You don't know? Focus on your future. Your goals can still be met.
But how?
Target your tomorrow and use the Avo bet.
You sing?
Not really. A is for taking action. Start off with a plan.
You built these letters?
Yep. V is for variety. There's so many ways you can.
I follow you.
Come on. O's for optimize your savings.
Let Avo lead the way.
Visit aceyourretirement.org today.
Nice sign.
Thanks, I made it myself.
Cool.
March is Women's History Month, and our reporter Ryan Marshall took a trip to Biscayne Bay to learn about one group of women who are competing in an ancient Chinese sport, and they're doing it for a great cause.
In Biscayne Bay, a team of breast cancer survivors gather weekly to tame the dragon and participate in the unique sport of dragon boat racing.
Dragon boating is a mind-body thing. I often feel like it's an active meditation.
But why exactly did the women choose dragon boat racing? While the sport dates back to ancient China over 2,000 years ago, dragon boat racing was adopted by breast cancer survivors in Vancouver in 1996. Dr. Don McKenzie at the University of British Columbia discovered that rigorous upper body exercise in breast cancer survivors could limit the chances of developing lymphedema, a severe side effect of cancer treatment.
He did a study, and after 1 year he said, okay ladies, I have all of my material, I'm done. They said, oh no, this is too good, this is too great, we've got to keep going.
The sport boomed among breast cancer survivors, and in 2007, Kim Bonomo founded Save Our Sisters, South Florida's first dragon boat racing team of breast cancer survivors.
So I get out there in that boat and I forget about all the problems on the water, and the fact that every woman in that boat has had breast cancer. We're all in the same boat.
The team includes survivors aged from 30 to 82, and they compete in races around the world. Save Our Sisters is currently preparing for the Dragon Boat Festival, hosted by the International Breast Cancer Paddlers Commission in New Zealand this April. But don't underestimate them. They can compete with anyone.
I've even had people at the rowing club, at Miami Rowing Club, and they'll say, what's up with the grandmothers? And we'll go out and we'll kick their ass.
And when the nonprofit team is not competing, they're out spreading breast cancer awareness in the community.
But somebody's going to see us, and they're going to remember to get their mammogram. Maybe somebody's going to see us who was just recently diagnosed, and they're going to say, you know what, I'm going to get through it. Look at those strong ladies.
And while the women are part of a team, they really are much more than that. They are sisters who will help each other no matter what, especially if they have to get treatment again.
We can play together, we work out together, we get healthy together, but if you have to take that route, for whatever reason, we will not leave that teammate alone.
Reporting for UMTV, I'm Ryan Marshall.
Last Friday, one NBA All-Star proved that March Madness isn't just for college basketball. Knicks forward Julius Randle hit one of the most improbable shots of the season right here in Miami, with me watching from the 400s. Let's take a look at this week's play of the day. All right, let's see. It's 119 to 118 Knicks right now, but Tyler Hero is going to steal the ball from Julius Randle, take it right to the hoop. Now they're up 120-119, but Julius Randle is going to have the last laugh here. First, Jalen Brunson, a couple dribble moves. He's looking for a way to the rim. He can't find it, so he's going to give it back to Julius. Julius loses the ball. Gets it back, though. Now he's got to work. Loses the ball again. It was on purpose, says Julius, because here's the fadeaway and the double bang. Bang! Mike Breen gives him just the 5th double bang of all time. What a shot. He's going to absolutely truck Tom Thibodeau here, too. What a play to be there for in person.
Just the 5th double bang. Love that. Cutting down the net is always a tradition when winning a championship, though. And after men's basketball won the ACC title, everyone got their piece, but especially Coach L. Coach L now getting up there on the ladder for first time in 10 years. That's when they won their first ACC regular season championship. Well, he's doing it again here. Right now, cuts down the net, and Norchad down there yelling, Coach, put it on. put it on like a necklace and check it out. So that's what Coach L does. He puts it on like a necklace, but he's not just wearing it then. He went on to wear it throughout the press conference. He went on to wear it throughout the rest of the night. Our producer, Daniel told us that Coach L was still wearing it when he saw him 2 hours after the game ended and was leaving the
Rumor
arena,
has it, Coach L is wearing it right now as we speak. But that's all the time we have left on this episode of Sports Desk.
We're off for next week for spring break, but until then, have a wonderful day.